Hey, all right. Hey, Tom here, FlipAnything USA. Today we're going to do a review on Jerry Pinkas. And this is actually the first time I've seen this video. I haven't seen this video, didn't even watch a little bit of it ahead of time. I just saw the title, saw that it wasn't very long. And I have watched a little bit of Jerry in the past. He's a real estate agent. Totally different. I'm an investor. I've been an investor for the last 42 years. He looks like he's about my age. So he's probably been a realtor for some time. So I thought it'd be interesting. Hey, Kris, glad to see you here. Kris, your video's been doing quite well, by the way. You've probably seen. Kris is in the class, by the way. So, hey, those of you that are just getting here for the first time, look, I've got a book, Wake Up and Smell the Real Estate. You can see it right there. Been a bestseller on Amazon, Audible, and Kindle. Station here, of course, is FlipAnything USA. And I talk basically about my experience as an investor over the last 42 years. Made my first million in my 20s in the 1980s, and real estate has just been a wonderful ride. So I like the title that Jerry has here. It's called Scammer Payback, How to Spot a Housing Market Scam. I'm in a business that's filled with scammers and liars and cheaters, and so I have I have to always be out there trying to differentiate myself from the rest, and I think that's what makes me quite unique in a lot of ways. But I got a lot of experience that most people just don't have either. What's Barry got going here? Oh, yeah, that's right, Barry. That's right. He's been doing it since he was 6. Or no, I'm sorry, since 16. He's 80. He's been doing it for 84 years, 100 years old now. It's fantastic, Barry. It's a pleasure to have you on the really need to have you on the show sometime, really. So I thought, anyways, any of you guys watch Jerry Pinkas? Yeah, like I said, I like guys that have been around. Old guys like me, 60 years old or so. No offense, maybe he's younger than that. I don't know, but I do. I love talking about real estate over the last 42 years and how it's very different today. Not when I say it's different, some things are the same. Buying, selling, making deals, that's all the same. All this AI bullshit, I'm telling you, and this ain't just some old man knocking AI. I do use AI for different things, but it doesn't play a part. It's just something to grab onto for scammers to sell you, these big lists and stuff. And we'll talk about that some more. The idea that you're going to sell everybody in the community the same list of everybody in the community is pretty stupid and silly. You're going to have, hundreds of people calling the same people and going nowhere. So let's see. You never heard of him before? Well, I don't know what to tell you. We'll just see. We'll see. AI is BS. Yeah. Well, you'll see my new. I've got a new commercial kind of out that plugs where I say you need you don't need AI. You need EI, experience intelligence, and that really will be the thing that will serve you most. I've got a number of millionaires that have become millionaires under my mentorship. Very proud of that. And Kris is actually. He's one of the knockout students too. So actually, I'm about to close on a house too that actually Kris handed to me, referred to me. I appreciate that, Kris. We'll be closing on that one Friday. I'll share more with you on that. But so look, let's get into Jerry Pinkas' video here, and we'll get this started. Meantime, if you're first time here, please hit that subscribe button, hit that like button. You won't find a channel like mine, I guarantee you. You won't find very few YouTubers with as much experience in real estate as I have had, and I've been doing it for a very long time. So let's watch Jerry and see where this goes.
What's really going on here? You can buy a house for $72,000. Today, you can rent a 3-bedroom condo for $590 a month. Really? You and I have been lied to.
Yeah.
Now, we all know that the cost of everything has gone up, especially in this crazy runaway inflation. Yet every single day, people are getting scammed and losing money. These scoundrels are out there, guys. So today we really have to be conscious of everything that we're doing. This is a very important topic, and it can save you from falling victim to crazy scams in the housing market. And this is why I'm doing this video. It's to educate the public. And if this is your first time here, I just want to say welcome aboard. This channel is all about helping you to avoid the pitfalls that are costly. So give me a thumbs up if you're good with that. Now, I'm going to show you a big Craigslist scam and how you can spot the scammers and how you can give these scammers a taste of their own medicine. So stay tuned for some scammer paybacks.
So I guess he's not talking about the kind of scamming that I was thinking possibly he was talking about. But you know what? Nevertheless, let's just go ahead and watch it. 7 minutes, and we'll see what he's talking about.
Now, it's all about fake properties and con artists.
So what's really going on here? Well, there's some super nasty schemes where con artists, they'll pose as a property owner or a landlord or even a manager, and then they'll advertise fake properties with pictures that they've scraped from the internet. And they really look good, guys. Then they post these fake ads to steal your hard-earned money. Now, I'm going to show you what these ads look like and some common red flags that you want to watch out for. And this is happening in every state, in every town in the nation. You delete all of their fake scam posts forever. So you go up to the top, whatever town you're in, up here, to the left-hand side, you drop that down, and there's a map that comes out. So you can make this as small or as big as possible, but I'm going to show you this. I'm taking the East Coast. I'm going to use that area. Then I'm going to go to Pinkas, Pinkas. And you guys know that I'm in Myrtle Beach, South Carolina, so I wouldn't have properties in other states. But look at this, Atlanta, Georgia, and New York. Huh, interesting, right? Scammy. So take a look at this. When we pull up, they're always under market. These scammers are always under market. They misspell names, but it's kind of making it legit. And they have.
So listen, on the subject of scammers, let me just tell you something. This year alone, I've had over $200,000 in losses from thieves and scammers. I've had $105,000 forged checks written out of two bank accounts, which I got the money back. I've had a bobcat stolen off my property. I've had about $30,000 worth of copper stolen off a rooftop of one of my industrial buildings. So the thieves are everywhere. And they're not afraid of the cameras because I got these thieves on camera. And it doesn't seem to help the cops either very much, to be honest. But it is what it is. But definitely scams are everywhere.
Have other names in there. Whenever you show contact information, that's
on that, because he said something about misspellings on the check, the check that they forged. I have a PO box, right, that I utilize. It wrote they made the check, so there's no, when you see the ink on a check, the ink on a check has some magnetic qualities, so that when it passes through, the reader can actually just read the magnetics, sizes, and it'll tell them the numbers, even if the numbers aren't perfectly clear. The magnetics within it will tell it. Well, now they're shooting a picture of a check with the phone. And then and they're utilizing that as a real check. So it just scams galore, and I don't even know why the bank even does it. Allows some of it, to be honest. But let's hear about this scam on Craigslist, which Craigslist, of course, is full of scammers.
It's not accurate, or it goes to nowhere. So they want you to hit reply and to get in on that scam. A lot of times it's all by email. But if we take a look at this address here, the address is also usually fake because they've scabbed all these pictures. Look at how nice these pictures look on the inside of this house. Here's the reality of what that address, that house looks like. This is that house, okay? This is a house that's for sale. Now, they didn't scab these pictures, but somebody who wants to rent this house might fall for that scam, right? So usually it's an under market price. Usually they use credible names. They've stolen my name here, obviously. And usually they're going to do other things to try to make themselves look as legit as possible. Now, I want to go back to this because when I showed you this, you don't want to send them cash. There's people here that have been scammed. Look at all these other scammed people. They've posted themselves saying, don't Venmo, don't send any Cash App or any Zelle money, all right?
So, I've had a run-in with a number of scammers. I can't even tell you how I handled one of them. I'll tell the people in class, but I won't tell anybody openly here. But they were a big compressor scam. They would take money from people and for air compressors. They looked legitimate, and they kept coming up on eBay, and they looked quite legitimate. But they got me for $8,000. But I turned it around on them, and they sent me my check back promptly. I let them know that. Well, anyways, I won't get into it. But I did have. What else was I going to tell you? I actually put a husband and wife in prison. She got 3.5 years prison. He got 18 months. And what they did is she actually worked for me and took checks out of the safe where we have checks, and from maybe 100 deep, and she proceeded to write herself a check, and then she tried to get her hands back on the originals so that she could get the canceled check and delete it. But I caught on to what she was doing before that happened, and her husband. Here's how dreadful these people were. Not only did they steal from me, of course I got the district attorney on them, and said, yeah, let's just put them away. And they actually even had a car. They had a car that they bought that they were behind on the payments on, and they sold it to somebody on Craigslist. And it's like a probably $30,000 car that they were way behind on. And what they did is they got this pregnant woman that needed a car. They sold her the car. They took $5,000 cash from her and then said, hey, we'll give you the pink slip when you give us the other $25,000. Of course, they don't have the pink slip or the title. And so when the repo man caught up with them, they gave the address of where the pregnant girl was that they sold the car to, and then they just promptly towed it out of her. So these were rotten people, so it was a pleasure to put them in prison. But, there's just all kinds of stuff like that out there. But anyways, this kind of scam thing, I think most of us can see through this stuff. Unfortunately, I know a lot of people don't. But hey, please hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. I know this is a little off topic, but still real estate related. Anyways, anybody got any comments? Please throw them in there. Let's keep watching.
And they're using these names, some of the names that these scammers are using: Berkshire Hathaway, Matthews, Jerry Pinkas, Thomas Ryan.
Now that you know the red flags, here's some tips on how to spot a scam. Make sure you do your homework. Research that property. Look up that property's history, the ownership, and the landlord's contact information. Verify everything and only meet them in person. Always insist on a meeting and touring that property in person before committing to anything. Pay securely.
Make sure when you meet them, don't tell them you're bringing cash.
If you decide to proceed, use secure payment methods like PayPal or a check. Don't send cash. Wire transfers or cash payments, don't do it. And if you're buying, make sure you have a written contract and a second set of eyes on that contract. And trust your gut, guys. If something feels funny, trust your instincts.
So I like that last point he made about trust your gut. So, people call it intuition, right? And believe me, I'm very, very intuitive. I mean, in other words, I trust my intuition because I know basically intuition to me is basically your subconscious is pulling from all the data that you've gathered over your whole life, and it's interpreting whatever's going on in that room or that situation at a level that, it's hard to articulate. And but that's intuition to me is usually when, something smells. I talk about it all the time. I mean, some of it's outright obvious to me, but when I see, fake gurus, that are very vague, they don't talk about, when they talk about money, they say deals. I've done a bunch of deals. They don't talk about the actual profits. They say, we've made big money, but, no, it's all vague, non-specific, which is total bullshit. And so, you definitely need to be aware of vague terms. The younger you are, the less intuition you're going to have. because you just have a smaller knowledge base. You've been around a lot. You just haven't been around very long. In fact, I was in a wedding in Virginia just recently, and there was some YouTubers, and there was actually a YouTuber's wedding that I went to. John Sonmez, great guy, Bulldog Mindset's his place. Congratulations again, John and Nicole. But I was with a group of young people, and there was one guy in there pretty young, and he just thought everybody rich is, did something, nefarious to get rich, that they're not. And I said, nah, I go, listen, you're very self-defeating because you're making assumptions. This guy is maybe 28 years old. I said, you've been out of school 10 years. I go, you've got very little data to draw from, right? And that's the problem. I get negative. I just finished, writing guy. I called him a naysayer extraordinaire because he's attributing to my investing as to causing the housing crisis and causing prices to go up because he doesn't know what he's talking about. And, and again, he's one of these guys with all of the answers and none of the money. And there's a lot of people out there, and they're always anxious to give negative advice. But, hey, for you guys, listen, I've got a webinar tomorrow night, 7 p.m. Central. Urge you to go to it if you are interested in making money in real estate. I never pressure anybody. You have to be approved to be in my class. There is no sign-up page on my website. You have to be approved. I've got the best and brightest individuals in my class. Very proud of my students. They make me look good because they make a lot of money. And when I say a lot, I've got students that have, and Chris, who was just in here, he's well over $500,000 now. He's actually made 4 times, he quit a job, and he's already made about 4 times his previous annual income from his job. He's made in 7, 8, 9 months. If you're still here, Chris, tell me. But basically, he made 4 times his income in less than a year. And and he's continuing. He's got freedom. It was just before summer was about to start. He'd already quit his job. He'd already made, 60, 80, 100 grand, early on. And he said, you know what, Tom? He said, I'm gonna take my little boy. And he jumped in the truck, and they went for a road trip. And now, I want you to enjoy those things. Listen, that's one of the best parts about my class. And about my mentorship.
If the deal seems too good to be true.
And I'll show you that. And okay, well, by the way, Jerry Pinkas, good job. Not a topic that comes up to mind very often, but certainly if you're out there renting, I will say this on renting, and I'm putting the scams aside. Renting is like stock. It really is. It's like a stock, and so is buying property too. In other words, when you go into a lease or to rent something, you want to negotiate the best price you can. And if you think that you're in a hot area and the values are going to go up and the rent's going to go up, then you want to make sure that you have a long lease. Now, likewise, if you're not so sure, then you want to hedge your bets by having a way to get out of that lease, even if it's a way to get out so you can renegotiate the lease with your landlord. So think about that in terms of, those of you that are renting, think about it in terms of being able to get out of your lease at the rate you're paying if rents drop everywhere, and they do drop. A lot of people don't think rents drop. They do drop. Times get tough. In fact, there's guys that put funds together that are going belly up right now because they misjudge the interest rates. The interest rates are high. They're having to refi, and the refi payment doesn't cover the mortgage on the investment that they bought with other people's money. So a lot of people are going down with them. It's a horrible thing. But that's why I encourage everybody actually to get my book, Wake Up and Smell the Real Estate. Take charge of your own property. Take charge. You want to hold the reins. If you invest with Grant Cardone, Kris Krohn, or one of these guys that has a fund, then you are powerless to pull money out. You don't have the ability. You don't have any control. That's why I'm so negative on those things. I like you to hold the reins so that you can, when you want to sell it, to get something better, you sell it. Take that money and get something better, and then just keep, redoubling or tripling or quadrupling, your assets. And it's a much healthier way to go. So listen, I'm going to come back and do another live, but I'm going to kill this one because this subject is strictly about this. I'm kind of doing a webinarathon today, so I expect to do quite a few short videos like this, and really want to see you guys. So I'll start back up here in probably another 10 minutes, and please come back and watch. And any ideas on what to do next, or what you want to talk about, you let me know. Maybe we'll just go live and we'll just pick a subject and we'll go review something. So again, hit that subscribe button, and you guys be sure to come back. And we'll use Fake Guru Rap for this one.
And listen, time is on a mission to eliminate all of the snake oil and the fake gurus that fake y'all. He'll show you how to build an empire, starting with nothing but a desire. All you really need is a good mentor, not a used car bullshit. With time, you'll learn to crush it. Investing like Warren Buffett. With real estate, you cannot procrastinate. Everyone who hesitates is left at the starting gate. Hey, yo, so don't delay and join today. The mentorship and flip anything. USA, go.